Jamie Little says Hailie Deegan is the real deal. Find out if she's right. Coming up next. So I hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas. I know I did. All right, if you haven't already, hopefully I will earn that subscription today. Let's get into it. Jamie Little recently, an article said that Hailie Deegan is the real deal, and we're going to go in to look at exactly what she said right now. Little said, when it comes to a driver that has the total package, that is capable of climbing the ladder, there is not a lot of them. Male or female, especially not females. Hailie is the real deal, and the way she is building the trajectory of her career, you could say she's doing all the right things. Little said she talked to Deegan, and Deegan said, this year was tough for all people, especially if you were a rookie. You didn't have that practice. She told me the final race in Phoenix, she's like, man, I really feel like we're starting to hit our stride now because I'm understanding these trucks and the tracks that we're going back to for a second time. But she said, next year I'll have practice, and I think it's going to be a game changer. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how we can progress in 2022. I expect bigger things out of her for sure. I think we'll definitely see her in the top 10 quite a few times, as we should, because of the equipment she's in. She also went on to talk about Hailie's dad, Brian Deegan, who marketed himself very well in motocross, the Metal Militia, all that. That was him. So let's see what she had to say about that. I remember the turning point with Brian Deegan. I don't know if we were the same age, but he was 19 or 20, and he went from this guy trying to be a supercross racer that really wasn't making any waves or winning any races, and all of a sudden he became this villain, this bad boy. He built up this kind of fan base around him, and the Metal Militia was born, and he got all these people to follow him. He marketed the heck out of himself, and he built this empire, and Hailie was right in the midst of it. I met her when she was 2 weeks old at Brian's event at the X Games. She's grown up in that, seeing what marketing can do for you, and you're absolutely right. There is not another driver that goes after their fans and markets themselves like she does. She doesn't use other people to try to do things for her. It's her and her boyfriend Chase creating all of the content. She really cares about her fans, and she knows that's important. This article comes from John Newby at The Heavy. And so given that context, I think she's right. Hailie always draws these comparisons to Danica, but it's a totally different situation in my opinion. Danica was rushed into the Cup Series. Hailie Deegan has done it the right way. She spent time in trucks. She's going to spend some time in Xfinity. She is going to learn the craft and move her way up, whereas Danica was sort of rushed and these expectations were put on Danica. So Danica's situation is totally different than Hailie Deegan's, aside from the marketing behind her. But even the marketing behind her, as Jamie Little just said, is totally different. Hailie Deegan's doing all the marketing herself. Danica Patrick had this machine behind her from when she was already in IndyCar. So I think Hailie and Danica, totally different, even though they're both female drivers and they're both going to be high profile. I fully expect Hailie Deegan to eventually work her way up to Cup, or at least Xfinity. She's already racing Xfinity next year. But I think Jamie Little is dead on, because if you look at, she might not turn out to be like the greatest driver ever. Very few people ever do. But she's doing this in a smart way, so she could be a driver like Michael Waltrip. Michael Waltrip never got a ton of wins, but Michael Waltrip hung around forever. And he always had sponsors because he was good with the sponsors. Hailie Deegan has taken advantage of her social media platforms, and so she creates plenty of buzz. She's got plenty of stuff behind her, and that's what actually companies are looking for right now. It's just she's actually her own ad agency or her own marketing team, and she's going to get sponsors herself, and she can sort of pick rides. So with the new business model, I think Hailie Deegan is actually one of the few drivers who's taking advantage of the situation, and I think Jamie Little is dead on the money with this. And not only that, but she's putting the time in. If you look at her social media now, she's always driving something, getting that seat time. There won't be as much rust, at least for her, as it will be some of these guys who take a full off-season off and don't really race anything. So I think she's putting her time in with her craft, and she's putting her time in with her marketing, and that's the new model. And I think Jamie Little's dead on the money. I think Hailie Deegan will have a successful driving career. How successful she is, who knows? But she definitely will, I think, stick around for a long time. Okay, that is all I've got for you today. If you like the content, feel free to subscribe down below. If you got something you want to leave for me in the comments, argue with me, whatever, tell me I'm a moron. A lot of people do. Leave it down in the comments. And other than that, thanks for your time. Peace.